greatest entertainers of our time, Beyoncé, as we know, as a global megastar, conquering pop music and more recently country.
Yeah, it's a transition that surprised some and outraged others and sent her straight to the top of the charts. Now, Beyoncé's new chapter is the subject of a highly anticipated documentary. The station wouldn't play Beyoncé's country music until fans revolted. And country radio station listeners around the US were left in uproar when her music came on.
There's a threat of black people being in this genre.
Partisans of country music saying this is or that ain't country.
This is not like, oh, black people are getting into country. No. Like, we've been in country music.
The new documentary, Call Me Country, Beyoncé and Nashville's Renaissance, drops tomorrow on Binge, examining the impact of how high-profile artists are challenging the country music status quo.
Who gets to say what country is, what the South is about?
Yeah, it's a good point. Eric Johnson's the executive producer of the documentary and he joins us live from New York now. Eric, good morning to you. So Beyoncé really did shock everyone, releasing a country album. What's your take on the impact of that album so far?
Well, you know, I think we first of all have to go back in time, and first of all, it's great to see you guys. We have to go back to 2022, last year. Beyoncé pretty much owned the year. You know, she had a major album come out with Renaissance. She went on tour all over the world, the 3-hour documentary about her tour. And so we had pretty much had our fill of Beyoncé. And then the Super Bowl, the biggest audience in the world this year, she comes out with a Verizon commercial, and bam, she surprises us with a new album. And we're getting teased that it's a country album. And so I think a lot of people were surprised that not only was there more music coming, but that she was taking us on this journey into a place that you don't traditionally see a lot of people of color in. And I think a lot of her fans are really excited for that.
Yeah, so why, in that case, did it draw so much controversy?
Well, you know, Beyoncé's no stranger to controversy. I think as a pop star in America, there's a part of controversy that's interesting. She wanted to bring more eyeballs to this audience. One of the guests that we have on the show, his name is Teray. He's a music critic. He calls this a revenge album, and that's because in 2016, Beyoncé performed at the CMAs, the Country Music Awards, in front of a huge audience. Her song Daddy Lessons, which was a country song. And that got a lot of people riled up. A lot of people were very upset that an R&B pop artist was entering a space that was not traditionally welcoming to that genre. And Beyoncé said, I'm going to remember this. And she came back years later and brought this album, a full album that really leaned into country.
There you go. You can't own a space.
You can't.
There. Thank you, Eric. We love this. This looks like a fascinating doco. Thanks for joining us. Call Me Country, Beyoncé and Nashville's Renaissance premieres this Friday on Binge.